Imagine not doing anything fun or going anywhere for the next 8 years.
How I stay productive.
How I sleep more productively.
4 hours of productive, efficient studying in a row.
Productivity guru.
Productivity.
Productivity equals
Productivity apps.
How I stay productive.
Extremely productive.
toxic relationship with productivity.
The rise of a new influencer niche, productivity gurus. These content creators have gained millions of followers by posting time-saving tips, life hacks, and productivity advice online. It's a term plastered across many of your favorite YouTube channels. But sometimes people push it to extremes and it's turned to be toxic. But we get it all wrong. We also come consumed with trying to improve our lives that we altogether forget to live them. I have many dreams, goals, passion, but didn't have the strength to pursue them. Many days I wasted my time by laying on my couch while millions of things were going through my mind that I needed to do, but for some damn reason, I couldn't make myself get up and fucking do them. Or I was sitting in front of my homework and staring at the empty paper that was in front of me, hoping the homework would write itself. My brain started to make excuses why I should do it another time. I need to shower. I need to call my friend. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. And this crazy nonsense was in everything I did. Eventually, I got tired of myself. I typed, "How to be productive" on YouTube. Then the world of productivity hit me without any warning. I watched every productivity video that there was with a feeling of motivation flowing through my veins and big satisfaction. With a rush of adrenaline from a new lifestyle, I planned every minute of the next day. And I failed. I planned for myself to wake up early and work for 5 hours straight. At the end of the day, I felt disappointed. I want to be successful, and that's what successful people do, right?
No complacency. No backing off.
Nights, I watch more and more productivity video with the thought that I finally found the key for endless productivity. And the day after, the same thing happens. And just like that, I entered this terrible circle of toxic productivity. Wake up early, and until the night trying to control every minute of my day as I planned. When do I eat? When do I sleep? All written on paper. On days I didn't follow my schedule perfectly, at night I would blame myself, trying to figure out what is wrong with me. I would ask myself, what? Don't you want to be successful? So work your ass off.
I want you to be terrified.
I was on the road to burnout, state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. I started to develop anxiety from not doing enough. I started to work at nights because I couldn't finish my things I set out to do the day before.
You have to do it.
I lost my happiness. Everything I loved, I stopped myself from doing just because I thought that was a waste of my time.
The clock ticking.
Then I thought, is this really worth it? I couldn't keep up with my unrealistic standards.
You need to be in a big damn hurry. Time is running out on you.
Later, I dig into the internet and I came across toxic productivity. Toxic productivity is a mindset that manifests as the need to constantly do. You can't rest or take any downtime. And when you're forced to, you can't turn your mind off and enjoy it. You're too busy worrying about what else you should do. When getting things done becomes more important than getting adequate sleep or eat, or spending time with your loved ones, it becomes a problem. Huh? Psh, what do you mean a problem? I'm an alpha. Sleep is for lazy losers. Yeah, sure. Also, attempting to maintain constant productivity is a recipe for burnout. Burnout commonly results from this toxic mindset. But if you want this or not, rest is essential for true productivity, and without it, the quality of your output suffers. We all want that success life, and when we see these successful people online, we tend to copy them, and our mind shifts to, if you want to be that, you need to do that.
Watching anime and watching TV in general feels to me like kind of a waste of time. And so normally what I do is I'll just speed up until it gets to an interesting point.
Oh my God! Wow!
This mindset leaves us with no choice but to follow that toxic productivity. I wanted to be just like them, but there was one small problem. I can't. You see, it's hard to implement that lifestyle into my daily practice. Most productivity gurus work alone. I bet your top 3 to 4 experts online work for themselves or by themselves for a large part of their day. They have their own companies. They have way more control of their time than do regular people. Also, most of the gurus are using universal measures for when to wake up, for how much work to do in the day, for the fact that everyone can afford a full-time job with a few side hustles. It has little to no regard for different people's attention spans, for the fact that some people may be parents, for the fact that some people may not earn as much money, or for the fact some people have different stress levels, or maybe learning disabilities, or other factors. And think about behind the scenes. These very productive and successful people online may actually have huge teams which are helping them with this workload. They may have cooking for them, taking care of their kids, or just money to afford crazy holidays to decompass from this crazy productive time. So things not as they seem online, and this universal measures of you can do it too are probably not true. Here's a few crazy things productivity gurus said.
Reading for enjoyment is more like reading fiction. Because I'm reading for enjoyment, I'm also okay with skipping long bits of description. Like if I get the idea and if I'm really wrapped up in the story, I don't feel the need to read absolutely every word.
Who's even doing that?
If we look, I've got 100,124 students in my class, and those have watched about 8 million minutes of watch time, and by the end of 2020, this will be about 9.5 million minutes of watch time.
He was able to get to this numbers because he's already have an audience, millions of audience to be exact, so it's just unrealistic for people like me and you who's working 9 to 5 to get this numbers.
The way you leave the 9 to 5 is by making money outside of the 9 to 5 that will sustain your living. Basically, you can learn a skill and then sell that skill to people who will pay for that skill. And then if you can make enough money through freelancing that particular service, then you can make enough money to leave the 9 to 5. I'd recommend reading Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Work Week. Generally, my advice would be to try and do the side hustle thing while you've got a full-time job, the 9 to 5. You've got plenty of time in the weekends and evenings to learn skills, try and sell them.
He's talking about like it's so easy, and that's the problem. Nothing's easy.
I agree. I just don't know how realistic that is for everyone. And I also think that we tend to kind of
why
romanticize...
is it not realistic?
Right.
If you can make money outside of your 9 to 5 and it sustains your living, what's stopping you from quitting 9 to 5?
Okay.
This got me thinking. Why are people so obsessed with productivity? Despite its toxicity, there are tons of people following and watching these videos. Why? Besides of productivity addiction, the answer is, it makes us feel valuable. It gives us satisfaction of accomplishment. It makes us feel good about ourselves. But does it really? All of that comes with balanced productivity. But when overtime's productivity gets extreme and toxic, it ruins our well-being. Of course, working hard and being productive is important, but more important is working hard on the right thing, while knowing your learning style, when and how much breaks you need. That's will do all the difference.